Hey guys, it's Julie. Today we're going to do a video for us and our skincare. Since summer is coming here, that's a very big thing with me because men age so gracefully. We women, we have just got to get at it. So today we're going to do a anti-wrinkle oil. This one is geared more toward 30 and over, more for a little bit more mature skin because as we age we lose a lot of the oils and elasticity and our skin starts to sag and lose a lot of that baby cuteness that we used to have. We're still pretty hot, but anyway, we're going to get started. I'm going to give you the ingredients, and then at the very end I'm going to show you a little routine that I do, so I hope this helps. So let's get started. One of the first ingredients, we're going to pan down. One of the first ingredients we're going to have is neroli oil, and we're going to put 10 drops of that. Let's put 10. 1, 2, 3. If it'll come out the bottle, you know me and these measurements. Okay, we've got 10 drops of that. Let me put that over to the side. And for the young lady who asked about the lavender, this is my lavender, my infused lavender oil. I'm trying to get away from buying essential oils unless I absolutely have to have that specific. Since I use so much lavender oil, I usually infuse it with my own buds for weeks, sometimes months. This has been setting since February the 12th, 2012, so several weeks, but I still like to let it sit for a couple of months. I have another jar, but we're going to dip out of this jar today. We're going to see, I'm going to let you look in there. See those buds? The color will change. You can't tell right now, but it'll get dark purple, I promise, once you decant it. And we're going to put about 10 drops of that in the bowl. We're going to put rosemary oil, and of course I'll list the properties of it as always. 2 drops only of the rosemary oil. The lemon, we're going to only put 3 because, you know, if you put too much citrus, it can be 2, 3. It's a little bit irritating to the skin. We're going to put 10 drops, or I always like to say 1 tablespoon because then my measurements, oh my goodness, of the evening primrose oil. Actually, I think I'm just going to do, because I don't do measurements for myself, the measurements is mainly for the camera. I put in exactly what I like. That is evening primrose oil. I put in what I like, and then, you know, for the camera, I'm just trying to help others know exactly what they want. This is my most absolute precious oil that I have. You know, I grow roses in my garden, and I'm using them in all types of concoctions because rose is one of the best absolute soothers, astringents, moisturizers for the skin, for any type of skin. I had petals in a jar for about 3 or 4 months, heated them slightly in the oil and let that sit overnight, and decanted it and got the oil, and this is all I have left. So I keep this in the refrigerator to keep it fresh, so I am very frugal with this rose infused oil. Has kind of a rose scent to it. Ooh, yeah, that's the stuff. But man, I love it. If I could rub it all over my whole body, I would. Now that is the rose infused oil. That's maybe about 5 drops of the rose essence if you have it. That stuff is kind of expensive online, so I don't buy the rose essence oils, but you know, so I think a little bottle or 1/2 ounce is like $20 to $40. I don't know, but I just can't buy that. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of almond oil because that's going to be our carrier oil. Put 2 tablespoons of that. 1 and 2. There we go. Oh, a clanking sound. As far as the vitamin E, I put vitamin E in most of my facial products, not so much to preserve this one because it is an oil base, but just because I want the antioxidants of it. I'm trying hard to keep it nice and tight. I don't know if that's maybe about a 1/4 teaspoon, but since it's 32,000 IUs, that little bit is more than enough. So we have all of our oils, and by the way, ladies, the rose oil and the evening primrose, I keep that in the refrigerator to keep it fresh. We're going to put a teaspoon, actually, I'm going to put a tablespoon of honey. I could just eat this whole jar. I have to tell myself, do not eat all that honey. But honey is excellent. Has all those flower essences that the bees have distilled or changed the chemistry. I don't know exactly what the word would be, but honey is basically flower nectar that the bees have dehydrated into something wonderful. My husband always thinks I'm so crazy about that honey especially. Let me make sure I have all my oils in. And see, it's not a large batch. This is something that I put on at night after I have cleaned my skin. I only put it on at night because, as you can see, it is an oil. It's kind of on the thick side. But this is something that has so much antioxidants, astringent, antibacterial, antifungal. And as far as the rosemary, it really, really helps to reduce that capillaries in your face. You know how you get those little bitty broken veins in your face? Rosemary is real good for making those capillaries just a little bit stronger. The neroli oil is one of the best wrinkle fighters with the roses actually itself. Rose oil is a very good tissue regenerator. So I usually just get it mixed up real well. I don't know why I'm using my spoon, but I love spoons for everything. I have a little beater, but I can't find it. Get that all mixed up. You see, it gets kind of thick, a little bit thicker, because the oils are mixing in with the honey. And once you get it mixed up to your liking, this is something that I found out that I didn't know. If you've ever heard of a compounding pharmacy that kind of compounds or makes up drugs for whatever purposes, you can order these bottles online, of course, in bulk. But because I work at a hospital, one of the compounding pharmacy gave me a little, well, actually about 5 of these. And then I went to another pharmacy and purchased the little larger bottles, the little dark amber bottles with the droppers or the glass droppers inside, and that's going to be excellent. Usually with this wrinkle fighter at night after I have cleaned my face and rinsed it real well, I leave it moist and put maybe 2 or 3 drops in my hand and spread it all over the face and neck, and then let it absorb before I go to sleep at night. But we're going to go ahead and decant it in the bottle. Let me move some of these things out the way. I even got a cute little funnel from her. And we'll put them all in the bottle. And that goes in pretty easy. Oh, look at that. You know I'm going to have to scoop that up and put it in the bottle later. I spilled a little bit on the plastic. And we'll come back to that in a second. I'm going to let that drip in. Look at that. I am just that cheap, ladies, in case you don't know it. People that know me well, they say I'm kind of on the cheap side, but that's okay. I'm more of a thrifty type person. We're going to sit that down, and I'll come back and get all the rest of that in the bottle. But see, that is going to work out really well. Usually I have a bigger funnel, because I always make a bigger bottle, but because I'm running out of some of my more precious things, like my rose oil, I'm trying to be a little bit more frugal with it. But it comes out the bottle easily, especially when you have that little scooper. But like I said, I usually put about 3 drops, which is not very much. And since your skin is already going to be wet, I'm going to rub it in the hand and then rub it on the face, being gentle around those eyes. And since you have that lemon, which is citrus, we're going to rub that on the face. And then in the morning, we're going to wake up and we're going to be a queen. But let me clean some of this up, and I'll be back in just a second, and I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Okay, guys, we're back. We've made our anti-wrinkle oil, and let me show you the book that I got the recipe out. I am an absolute nut for books, especially herb books. The Complete Book of Essential Oils and Aromatherapy. This book had recipes. I got this at my public library. I figured I've got to stop buying all those books, so I've been trying to go to the library and check out books that are interesting to me, or some of the older books that have the really good old recipes in it. But this one was by, let's see, Valerie Ann Warwood. I think that was her name, Warwood. So check that out. It has really, really nice things in there. But we have our anti-wrinkle oil. I don't know if you can see the separation where the honey is kind of separated from the oil a little bit. But give it a shake each time before you use it. This little bottle usually lasts me maybe about a month. I think it was a month ago that I made this, and it works well, I think. One of the things that I decided to do at the end of this video is show you some of the different things. One lady commented, "Oh, your skin is nice." Well, I don't have an HD camera to show you every little spot and blemish, so Maybe it does look very nice, but it's nice and smooth pretty much. A few little spots here and there, but we do what we can do. But I'll mostly do an oil cleansing. I like that a lot. I have oily skin naturally, but at night I still do an oil cleansing. I think it kind of helps to keep the skin more supple. Or I'll do my chocolate facial mask, which, whoo, man, this stuff still smells so good and it tastes good too. But my big new thing, because summer's here, we're trying to get all that dead skin. Whatever you do to the face, remember, do it to the neck too. I am big into doing the orange or the citrus washes now. Get you an orange, especially if you got an orange that you're not going to eat and it's a little bit older. Give it a good scrub. That citrus helps to exfoliate the skin, gets all those dead cells. Orange, because it is an emollient, softens the skin so very nicely, so very nicely. But I not only do this to my face, I do it to my skin, and if I cut the orange in half, it works so well with salt on the bottom. So give it a try. I think you're going to like that. But let me clean this off. That's why I have the counter covered in a paper bag. I probably look like a monster with all this orange on me. But be careful not to get that citrus oil in your eyes. Woo! That tastes good. But usually I don't do it that way. Do I have it in my hair? I have it there, but that's okay. This is just a bowl that I have that I got at the Dollar Tree. Let me rinse that off real good. Let me dry my eyes off. But what I normally do is I leave the skin pretty much wet like you see it, because I wanted you to understand what I was talking about. Give your oil a really, really good shake. Let me scoop this water over. And let's get some out of there. And we're going to do about 1, 2, 3, I think I'm going to do 4 drops this time. Do about 4 drops because the skin is still wet. Rub it in our hand. And that helps to kind of smooth it exactly where you want it to be. It's not oily. It smooths really well. Make sure you get the neck. And there you go. We're all done. We got our beauty mask on for the night. We're going to wake up tomorrow. We're going to look 10 years younger. I don't know about that, but thank you, girls. I hope you liked this video. Everybody's got to try it. Come on, let's get beautiful. Bye-bye, guys.